We've been through some things with Sonic, haven't we? The Blue Hedgehog has been on a ride wilder than any loop-de-loop he's ever run. Remember when gaming outlets couldn't stop talking about Sonic's rough transition to 3D? Like, we get it. Sonic Adventure was janky, Sonic Adventure 2 was even more maybe, but move on. But then the 2010s happened and we had our highs with Sonic Mania, but at the same time, Sonic Boom came out, Sonic Forces made us all question our life choices, and Sonic Superstars? It's a thing, but Sonic Frontiers? Let's call it a polarizing experience. While some people were like, oh, this is such a breath of fresh air, others were suffocating in the fumes of mediocrity. But today, we're talking about a game that might just redeem everything, Sonic Dream Team. Except this game is an exclusive to Apple Arcade. So here's the tea. When Sonic Dream Team was announced, people were ready to riot. Not because it looked bad, oh no, on the contrary, but because it looked good and it was locked behind Apple platforms. Imagine being mad at the game for looking awesome? That's where we were. And honestly, fair enough. This wasn't just Sega phoning it in. Apple funded the damn thing, and one of the directors was reportedly an Apple employee. And of course, exclusives are a business strategy. Just like Nintendo keeps all the good Mario and Zelda and like Animal Crossing and everything else they've owned locked to its consoles, Apple wanted Sonic Dream Team to boost its Apple Arcade subscriptions. Is it annoying? Yeah, but is it effective? Well, it worked with me. The kicker though, Sega Hardlight, the studio behind Sonic Dash and other smaller mobile games, pulled this off, and they made something Sonic Team themselves couldn't in years, a genuinely great Sonic game. Let that sink in for a moment. But let's talk about how they did that. So there are 6 playable characters: Sonic, Amy, Tails, Cream, Knuckles, and Rouge. You start with only Sonic and Amy, and unlocking the others later feel like a reward. It's absolutely worth revisiting previous stages to discover new routes with them. They all fall into one of 3 tropes, like Sonic and Amy are your speed demons and can use the Lightspeed Dash to trailblaze paths of the rings. Cream and Tails can fly, open up hard-to-reach areas, and Knuckles and Rouge, climbers, who can also glide. Sure, they all play a little similar with each other, but the level design makes them all feel fresh and valuable. But the best part is you can swap between characters mid-level with the press of a button. It's seamless and keeps the gameplay dynamic. It's like some heroes, but without the existential dread. But in my opinion, a Sonic game only goes as far as its physics, and they nail it. They are like tight, but allow for just enough freedom to keep things exciting. You can build momentum naturally and even experiment with just breaking the level design a bit. For instance, with enough speed and the right jump, you can sometimes reach areas designed for Tails or Knuckles while playing as Sonic. It feels like a reward for mastering the controls. And like moving these characters around are just pure joy. Every turn, every tiny adjustment, it's all so smooth, you won't even miss the quick step mechanic. It's got like that tight level design that rewards you for playing smart, not just holding down the boost button like you're trying to escape your problems. And speaking of the boost, it's here but it's dialed down a little bit. It is just fast, enough to keep things exciting, And boosting is fueled by a scarce new energy thingy, making it more strategic. Honestly, I still wish the boost was a little bit more like the mini turbo approach from Unleashed on Wii, but it is still great. And you can even run vertically on walls outside of script scenes. And it just feels right, like you would think it would be a little confusing, but nope. It's smooth, intuitive, and it adds even more freedom to the gameplay. The game also nails its collectibles. Red rings are back, rewarding your inner completionist. But the blue coins, a new collectible, steal the show completely. These bad boys are hidden in clever spots that are practically begging for you to replay levels. Hunting them down feels like a mini-game in itself, and when you finally snag one, it's like winning the lottery. but better because it's Sonic. The game features 4 zones, or, dreams, each with 4 acts, the fourth being a boss battle. Non-boss acts involve reaching the dream portal to collect a dream orb. On top of that, there are 4 additional challenges to complete per act. Boy, do they love the number 4. Anyway, this can range from quick time attacks to collecting dream shards to farm a dream orb. Time trials test your speed like duh, while dream shard hunts turn open zone stages into a treasure hunt. These dream shards challenges are my absolute favorite. Like, who knew Sonic could make scavenger hunts this much fun? It's platforming, it's exploration, it's everything rolled into one. But if you are in a rush to unlock the next act, you can always stick to the time attacks since they're faster and straightforward. But speaking about the bosses, most of them don't do a lot for me. They are not bad, but they are not exactly groundbreaking either. They're just kinda there. Oh, and music tracks are also collectible. There's even a sound test, and you can even change the music that plays in a level from the pause menu. How cool is that? But what are those dream portals and dream shards that I keep going on about? Well, you see, this time Eggman has found the Reverie, a relic that can turn dreams into reality. But naturally there's a catch. It only works for people of good heart. And to bypass the limitation, Eggman kidnaps Scream, to use her as a conduit, tricking the Reverie into doing his biting. This sets off a chain of events that drags Sonic and his friends into the surreal and ever-shifting dream world to stop Eggman. Now, here's where things get interesting. Arian, a Dreamweaver and a guardian of the Reverie, shows up to help the heroes. She's like your mystical tour guide for this dream world, but cooler. And while the stakes are high and the story is compelling, there's just this layer of disappointment in the execution. For instance, Arian hints at a fascinating mythology about her creators and the dream world's rules and lore, but these elements are barely explored. And don't even get me started on the Guardian Hunters. These entities are straight up terrifying, hunting down Guardians like Arian, but they're criminally underused. Why would you introduce something this cool and then just not do anything with it besides a boss fight? And speaking of missed opportunities, wasn't this the perfect setting for a Knights crossover? Come on! Anyway, let's talk about scrapped content. Because some data mine shows that a hub world was planned, but probably scrapped because of the mobile first mantra here. And concept art shows it could have been incredible, tying the dream world together with a sense of place. And Sega, if you're out there listening to this video, a console port is begging to bring these ideas back to life. Seriously, make it happen, more people need to play this damn game. Graphically, Dream Team is what happens when Sonic finally figures out his aesthetic. None of this realistic bullshit like Frontiers. No, instead it's full cartoon glory. And it works. The first zone, Scrambled Egg Zone, is a plastic-looking, colorful beach area that just looks incredible. The second stage is a factory with moving gears and conveyor belts, all wrapped up in this gritty but still playful vibe. It's a literally dream factory. The dream setting just let the devs go wild, and the result is a visual feast. And then there's my favorite, a hedge-maze forest-like garden that twists, turns, and flips upside down. It's wild, I love it. But I will stop now to avoid any potential spoilers, if you even care. But oh, and the animations, holy hell! Even if the story is in its majority told by these comic book style motion ref panels, the little animations we do get from time to time are some of the best in the whole series. Who knew Sonic could be this expressive without looking like a me? The opening cinematic deserves a shout out especially. Tyson has absolutely crushed with the high energy visuals and the anime opening vibes. T-Lopes worked on the opening track and absolutely killed it. But the rest of the soundtrack is by Michael van de Boos, I think how it's pronounced. Michael van de Boos? I think it's French, sorry if I butchered it. But it's pure magic. He absolutely killed it. It's everything a Sonic game soundtrack should be. It's upbeat, it's catchy, and perfectly matched to the levels. From adrenaline-pumping bangers to dreamy, atmospheric tracks, it's everything a Sonic game needs. The more explorative Dreamshard stages even have like these chill, lo-fi versions of the main themes. It is just this kind of music that you would put on while studying or working. It's perfect, man. That said, the only tracks I'm not too fond of are the boss fight themes. They are not bad, but they're definitely not the game's strongest point. And let's not forget about voice acting. Roger Sonic is probably the best it's been in years. And Cream's voice? It is not annoying. That alone is a win in my book. But that said, Rouge's voice? Yeah, it's not great. It's like one of the lowest points. But let's talk about performance, because wow, did the game deliver. I ran it on my 2020 first generation M1 MacBook, and it was flawless. No stutters, no crashes, no glitches. It's so polished that I kept waiting for some jank to appear, given, Sonic's reputation. But nope, I can't speak for how it runs on weaker hardware like an Apple TV, but the game does have some adjustable settings, so try yourself out. And here we are, the best Sonic game in years wasn't even made by Sonic Team. Sega Hardlight, the mobile dev underdog, swooped in and showed everyone how it's done. And can we talk about how this game literally made a dream team with Ian Flynn wiping up a killer story, Tyson Hess flexing his animation muscles, and T-Lops dropping bangers? It's like they took the game's title and said, yeah, let's do just that. Honestly, it's almost funny to me. For the longest time, I thought Sonic Team was incapable of making another good Sonic game. Then they dropped Shadow X Sonic Generations, and they are finding its footing again with Shadow stages, but they should definitely take cues from Sonic Dream Team. The game itself is just proof that the series can thrive when handled with care, creativity, and especially a clear vision. So take notes, Sonic Team, lots of them. Because now, Sonic Dream Team has me dreaming about a future where some games just don't suck or aren't controversial in any form, shape, or kind. I actually like the game so much that I've already replayed it 3 times since launch. And despite its mobile-first nature, everything you'd expect from a full-fledged Sonic game is here. Maybe better than ever, with its biggest problem being it's on the shorter side. But when your biggest complaint about a game is that you want more of it, maybe that's a sign that you got yourself a damn good game. But anyway, have you had the chance to play Dream Team? If so, did you like it? If not, do you want to play it even? Well, let me know in the comments down below. I've been Pedro and I'll see you next time. See ya!